Hello everyone and good afternoon. Today our group presentation will be on reducing landfill usage through alternative fuel sources. Currently, Peoria has their own waste collection system for their residents, but they use neighboring landfills for disposal since they do not have a landfill of their own. The city came to us with the goal of reducing this dependency on landfills, as well as finding other means of disposal that can possibly create economic benefit. Ideally, the city is interested in partnerships with companies already using alternative fuel technology or landfills who might be interested in these technologies. From a 2018 EPA fact sheet, we know that about 292.4 million tons of municipal solid waste is generated each year. Of that, approximately 33.7% of that waste is organic and can be used as feed in alternative fuel technology. The same report shows that currently only about 11.8% of organic waste is being combusted for energy. There are a multitude of benefits from these alternative fuel systems, but some of the most important ones include saving money on landfill dumping fees, producing and selling methane for economic gain, benefiting the environment by reducing greenhouse gas emissions from landfills, and it sets an example for other cities and states to do their part in reducing dependencies on landfills as well.
So what is an alternative fuel source? It's essentially any fuel that isn't petroleum, and in terms of municipal solid waste, the best candidate is organic waste. This primarily consists of food waste and yard trimmings. When using this organic waste, a renewable natural gas can be produced. These kind of fuel sources are already widespread in Europe and the agricultural industry in the US. Of course, they may use different kinds of organic waste like manure, but the process is virtually the same. What is biogas? Well, it's primarily composed of methane and carbon dioxide, and it's derived from the decomposition of organic waste through bacteria. As that waste breaks down, the resulting gases are then collected. When you're producing biogas, food waste is the most practical and least problematic input source for municipal solid waste. What is syngas? Syngas is an abbreviation for synthesis gas. It's primarily composed of methane, hydrogen, and carbon monoxide. The most common method to produce syngas is through a gasification process. This is basically inducing decomposition through high temperatures and collecting the resulting gases. Unlike biogas, any kind of waste can be used to produce syngas. But using non-organic waste can cause problems in the environment and to the technology. So our group chose to focus on using organic municipal solid waste instead. In a gasification process, you can use multiple kinds of organic waste. So for this alternative fuel, we are including food waste and yard trimmings.
The research methods used within this project include researching alternative fuels, determining the most feasible technologies for Peoria, evaluating the necessary financial investments, and examining partnerships and local examples of current technologies.
One of the main technologies used in biogas production is a landfill bioreactor. But for Peoria, it's unfeasible to do on their own because they don't have a landfill. This could be a potential option if they were able to partner with the City of Glendale or Waste Management in Phoenix, since they already have existing landfills. Anaerobic digesters are another common technology in biogas production. What's unique about this technology is that it can be a standalone system. Because of that, this is our recommended technology for Peoria. They can also work under wet or dry conditions, meaning with or without the addition of water. But because water is a limited resource in Arizona, we decided a dry anaerobic digester would be best for the city. So what are the benefits of dry anaerobic digesters? These systems can be extremely compact. The photograph on the right is an example of how small they can be, which makes it possible for Peoria to construct themselves. They also have the capacity to handle larger amounts of waste, but depending on how much waste is going to be processed, the system would need to be larger. If this was constructed in a partnership, the other partner could contribute their waste as well and maximize fuel production. We calculated that Peoria pays about $1,945,000 a year to dispose of their solid waste. If all of their organic waste was dedicated to a dry anaerobic digester, they would only pay $1,525,000 a year to dispose of their municipal solid waste. Based on that, they can annually save up to $420,000. While this is the best case scenario, it still shows the potential these technologies can have. The average cost to construct a small-scale dry anaerobic digester is $750,000. Based on the annual savings, it would take just under 2 years to break even on capital costs. While our report excludes the cost of operating and maintenance and other variable costs, there are additional opportunities for economic gain, like selling biogas or its fertilizer byproduct. Similar to biogas, there are multiple options and processes in syngas production. The most common technology is a gasifier. Within the gasifier technology, there are multiple options, like fixed bed, fluidized bed, and entrained flow. Based on Peoria's parameters, our group has recommended a fixed bed gasifier. The diagrams on the right show the general setup of the system. When compared to other gasifiers, this specific option is lower in cost. Additionally, it has flexible design options, such as updraft, crossdraft, and downdraft. These refer to the direction of the airflow and where the gas will be collected from. It's entirely up to preference, but it's nice to have multiple options. Another benefit to fixed bed gasifiers is that they are adjustable in scale. This makes it a practical option for Peoria since they are limited in space. We calculated that Peoria pays about $1,945,000 a year to dispose of their solid waste. If we used all of their food waste and yard trimmings for syngas production, they would only pay $1,290,000 a year to dispose of their solid waste. Based on that, they could annually save up to $655,000. While this is a generous estimate, it indicates how these technologies are a prospective option for the city. For our example, we chose a downdraft fixed bed gasifier, and the average cost to build a small-scale one is $112,000. Based on the annual savings, it would only take 2 months to break even on capital costs. Our analysis excludes other costs like operating and maintenance, but there are other opportunities for economic gain, like selling the syngas or even using it as an energy source.
In addition to the recommended technologies, our group has recommendations for education and public outreach. Public perception is a huge factor in implementing changes within a city, and through interviews with our experts, as well as findings within our research, we recommend conveying this information with the emphasis on the benefits the community will see, such as reduced energy costs in the future. Many cities have recycling days that are used to educate the community on proper recycling, which is a great opportunity to expand and create food waste separation days. Properly sorting waste to ensure only organic waste makes its way into the feedstock will be a challenge for the city. Some ways to overcome these challenges can include creating incentives for willing community members to partake in dropping their food waste off in a designated drop-off location. By giving community members the option to participate, contamination is less likely to occur. As the city expands its waste sorting, there's a concern of community members treating food waste bins as everyday trash bins, and education on proper waste sorting will be key in reducing this potential contamination. And to recap, we recommend creating educational and public outreach events, implementing waste sorting within the community, and technologies of a dry anaerobic digester for biogas and a fixed bed gasifier for syngas. These technologies can be used within potential partnerships through already existing facilities or with other entities who are interested. In conclusion, the City of Peoria currently utilizes other nearby landfills for the disposal of municipal solid waste in their city. This research was able to present Peoria with options of utilizing their city's municipal solid waste to create alternative fuels that have many economic and environmental benefits. The students' goal was to encourage and aid Peoria in making municipal solid waste a long-term investment rather than a burden. By continuing with this project, Peoria will have the ability to lead the way in Arizona and in the nation by providing safer and more sustainable options for the community. We just wanted to say thank you to the City of Peoria staff and the Project Cities staff.
We are so appreciative, you guys, for giving us the opportunity to work on this project, and you've all been so helpful. We cannot thank you enough.
In the following slides, you'll see our references. Thank you.